Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video I am once again taking a look at one of your designs that you have linked me in the comments section of one of my videos. And if you wish to see something of yours shown on this channel, just drop me the Steam Workshop link somewhere and I'll eventually get round to it. But for today we're looking at another transport ship. One which is not for transporting people, but you could if you wanted to use it for that, but for transporting large amounts of goods around the galaxy. So we're looking at the Grey Freighter, which is this lovely thing right here. So it's a fairly small, got everything you need to survive in survival mode. It's cheap to build once you're in space, especially for those ion thrusters, and great if you wanted to do some of those hauling contract missions. Its only downside, which is very easy to fix, is that it doesn't have a jump drive, so you would have to use one of those connectors at the front or underneath and attach a jump drive attachment, and that will allow you to jump and transport goods for all that easy trading money. So pressing F10 and finding the Grey Freighter in the spawn menu, there it is. This thing is 405 large blocks. It uses no mods, but it does require the decorative block DLC packs, and that's both of them. So we're going to start by taking a look around the outside, then we're going to go on the inside because it does have a small little interior, then we're going to fly it around and perhaps put it into combat. So coming around to here at the very front, we've got a connector for you to connect up to a base, just fly straight into it, or to attach a attachment onto it if you wanted to. Above that we've got a spotlight to help you connect everything up, and we can see our first of many large cargo containers, which is where we're going to store all our precious goods in. Just below that we've got ourselves a Gatling turret, which is one of 3 on this ship, and as we move around the side, I'll put my light off for the moment, you can see all the cargo containers, and you can also see the lights that sit around the side. It's probably a bit better if I come around to the opposite side, where the sun isn't there. And there we are, you can see how it glows in the darkness. Very nice stuff. If we come just back around to where I was, we'll continue along. So the cargo containers are a little exposed, but they do have that protection of the steel blocks. We've got our turrets, 2 underneath, 1 on top, which is a perfect amount to fight off any drones in-game or any kind of convoys that you randomly stumble across. As we continue to move along, we can see our hydrogen tanks. We do have hydrogen thrusters on it. It's not the main form of thrust, that goes to the ion thrusters. So ion thrust is going to be our main form of thrust, and it's what we're going to be using primarily unless we need assistance while taking off from a moon. So just coming along to here, we can see 2 ion thrusters at the top and the bottom, and we've got some to point backwards and some for our left and right. Coming around to the very back, we can see our landing gear at the bottom there to snap us onto something big. We can see the bottom of a connector just around there. Then as we come to the very back, we've got 2 large ion thrusters to push us along, and hopefully that was not an enemy spawning. Yes it was, god damn it, I turned that setting off. Anyway, at the back, we've got 2 large ion thrusters to push you along at some great speed, as well as a small hydrogen assistance thruster. We can see our doorway in and out in this little gap right here. If I put my light on, there it is. We've got a half railing, which I didn't know existed until I saw it on this ship. It's quite a novel little idea to have that safety rail on one side. Yes, that doorway will lead inside, and a ladder will take us up into the ship. We can see our gyroscopes on our left and our right, which is very handy, especially for a cargo ship, because you will want that control in order to turn once you're all full up. And if we just come and, say, drop down and come underneath this, there we are, we can see our hydrogen thrusters, we can see some reactors just for our power, and we can see the tops of our O2H2 generators behind them. As we move along, there's our ion thrusters, there's our Gatling guns, we've got some lights on there, and there's the other Gatling gun that sits near the front. Coming all the way up and above, turning my light off, there's our spotlight to light up the darkness, there's our other turret, there's the rest of our thrusters. We come across with these lovely grey battered armoured skins and yellow blocks, all the way to this bit, where we have our control seat to fly it in this lovely little glass bridge. But that just about covers it. It's a lovely little design on the outside, very simple, very easy on the blocks, but it's got a very good purpose. So getting into my character and coming all the way around to here, it's time to head on inside over to this bit. So just slotting ourselves in and hopping down, this is what we get. So like somebody asked me, I will try and keep my light off as much as possible for you to see the actual interior lighting. So on our left and our right, we got ourselves some cargo containers to quickly dump stuff into this ship, and we can see some batteries and an air vent just to pump this area of oxygen. Looking up and around, we've got a ladder to climb up and get into our little living quarter, which is made out of our battered armoured blocks in a nice greyish colour. So looking around here, this is what we get. It's quite a dark room. So going around, we've got our lovely DLC windows to view outside. We've got some steps that will lead up to our cockpit. Behind us, a toilet to sit on if you wanted to. Coming around to here, we've got a vending machine. Whoopsie, came off there. Yes, we've got a vending machine to have a quick little drink. We can view outside the window at that lovely wormhole over there. I'll leave a link to that skybox in the description if you're interested. Got a corner chair to sit on. Coming across to this side, we got our kitchen to cook some food on. And then we can come all the way around and up the steps. All the way here. We don't have a gravity generator, unfortunately, so we do get a bit wonky while walking along the steps. We come up to here, and we can get into our control seat. And this is what we get looking around. I do like this skybox, especially that little bit of red over there. That's such a good little bit of detail on it. Yes, we've got a fantastic view of all the way around us. The control seat looks bloody fantastic with how it's been set up with the glass around it. Feels like a proper ship, something that you see in No Man's Sky. Anyway, bringing up the HUD, this is what we get, and you better not be coming close to me, or I'm gonna come shoot you. Anyway, number 1 and number 2 are for our connectors around the ship. So if I come like that and turn off that. Number 1 is for the front, number 2 is for underneath. So there we are. Number 3 is for turning off the lights on the side. So if you want to activate stealth mode, you can just switch that off and hope for the best. Number 4 is for your landing gear to lock them or unlock them. Number 6 and number 7 and number 8 are all for your ion thrusters. So number 6 will be to switch off your ion thrusters at the back here. We'll just turn them back on like so. Number 7 is to switch off the other ion thrusters around the ship, leaving the ones at the back turned on. So this will be your cruise control button. Number 8 will be to switch everything on or everything off, depending on what settings you put on your 6 and your 7. So if I was to switch number 6 off, then press number 8, we'll switch on all the ion thrusters around the ship. Number 5, which I did forget about, is for your hydrogen thrusters, so just switch them on and off as you need. And number 9 is for your turrets around the ship, just switch them off, switch them on. On tab number 2, we then got our O2 H2 generators on and off, so if you don't have any ice, you can always save that little bit of power. Number 2, 3, 4 and 5 are for your hydrogen thrusters, which is your thrust override. So number 2 and number 4 will be to switch them on, and number 3 and number 4 will be to turn them down till disabled. So if we want to go up, we can switch that on, then just turn that off. And if we want to cruise forwards, we can press number 4 and just head on forwards. Turn them off. There we are. Number 6 is for your antenna on and off. 7, 8 and 9 are for your air vents, which you don't really need to touch. 3 and 4 are empty, so now it's time to fly this thing around. So flying it around, this is what we get. We are pretty damn fast for a freighter going forwards. Stopping on the other hand is not too great, and we did just damage a block there. I noticed out during testing there's one block, that little yellow block right there. I don't know why I'm pointing at it, you can't see me pointing. But on one side it always takes damage, and there's no reason why it should. Yes, stopping is a little bit of a problem, so you would have to do a 180 if you wanted to stop much quicker, but it still is no problem when it comes to the fantasy of a freighter. Going left and going right were quite slow, but it's perfectly serviceable. Going down and going up, we're still quite slow, but it's still serviceable for such a heavy ship. And then moving my mouse around, we got some weight on it, but it's not too bad. You can definitely feel it, like I can move my mouse around like so. You can probably hear it spinning around on the mouse mat, and we're not doing much movement. But if we were to be a little bit careful, we can definitely do some nice maneuvers in it. So where has that little freighter gone? Where have you gone, my good sir? You were somewhere around here. It's probably gone out of range. I might be able to find it in the little menu. Nope, it's despawned. Thanks, game. Fantastic stuff. So to finish this video off, I thought we could put it into a combat situation, but I don't want to completely annihilate it in one go. You contain some stuff not in this world, I'm sure it'll be fine. So let's bring in the Albatross jump ship, which was one of the more newer ships I jumped. That's definitely not what I clicked on. That is not a jump ship. What is that? What is that? Huh. Well, you're going to get blown up. I don't even know what this ship is. It should be a jump ship. Let's just go and give that to the pirates. There we are. Go nuts, little ship. It's did very short work of that. It just annihilated the cockpit and now it's gone. Let's see if I can actually find the proper jump ship and see what happened with that. There we are. That's much better. Oh god, the guns on that. I have a bad feeling about the poor little grey freighter. I think it's going to get completely and utterly annihilated as soon as that thing opened fires. Oh, I was wondering what was happening there, but it's going after the other little thing that I spawned in. So let's just go over here. I want you to attack me. And there it goes. I'm just going to switch myself to untargetable and invincible. They're going to start shooting each other. It's giving it a run for its money. It really feels like that. It's disabled a few of the guns. I think some of the guns underneath can still fire. Yes, 2 of them are still going. So it did a fairly decent job. Actually 2 of the bottom Gatling guns are still firing. They're still exchanging bullets with each other. The Albatross is seemingly going for the cargo containers instead of the guns underneath, which is giving it a nice opening to try and blast them. But there goes the Hydrogen tank. Everything is now dead on there. It had a pretty good run, I think, against a large ship like that. So we come across to here. It did a fair amount of damage to it. It disabled some of the turrets on it. Not all of them, just some of them on the side. It did do a nice chunk of damage to it. So anyway, the Grey Freighter will be in the description below if you wish to download and play around with it yourself. Highly recommend you do because it is a fun little ship. And I'll be back with another showcase video some point soon. Bye bye.